In this video, we'll talk about how to change your status from a B-1, B-2 tourist visa to a student visa inside the United States. I'm getting a lot of questions about this topic and I'll answer it in this video. So if you're interested in this, I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody and welcome back to Immigration Channel. This is a place where we get the most up-to-date immigration news, immigration information, and everything else that you need to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnick and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California, and I have clients in all 50 states and all over the world. In this video, we'll cover the basics of changing status from a B-1, B-2 tourist visa to F-1 student visa inside the United States, some important considerations you need to know if you plan to do so inside the United States. Before we do that, if you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show this video to more people just like you. So you come in the United States, it's the holidays, you're enjoying California or the West Coast of New York, and now you decide that you want to stay and go to school here. So is it possible? Yes, it is. So if you're here inside the United States, it's really important to understand that none of the change of status is possible in the first 2 to 3 months, right? So if you're here the first 2 to 3 months, you should not be doing any changes because it's going to imply that you may have planned this and it could look like misrepresentation or even fraud. So it's very important that if you decided after entering the United States that you want to become a student, you have to find an institution that is going to accept you. You're going to pass the English requirements, the acceptance requirements, and that school has to be able to issue you an I-20 form. This is the form that you're going to be using to apply for your change of status. You also have to be able to show the government that you are able to financially to support yourself while inside the United States and pay for your school. So as long as you're able to show these requirements, that you're financially able to afford it, you're accepted to an institution and get an I-20 form, you can apply for your change of status after 90 days of being inside the United States. So now that you're inside the United States and you have all the requirements and the financial documents, and you have your I-20 form from the school, you're going to pay the service fee that is required to attach to this application, and then you're going to file form I-539. This is the form that is used to change your status from a tourist to a student. So now that you're inside the United States and you have all the requirements and the financial documents, and you have your I-20 form from the school, you're going to pay the service fee that is required to attach to this application, and then you're going to file form I-539. This is the form that is used to change your status from a tourist to a student. And also remember that while you're waiting for this application, it's important that your original B-1, B-2 is still valid while this application is going through. And remember, these applications can take a long time to be processed. It's really important for you to be in touch with your school to make sure that you're still eligible to start school before your application has been approved. Some schools might allow that. Now, it's really important to understand that what you're getting inside the United States is just status. And this status, the moment you leave the country, you lose it, which means that if you have a tourist visa for 10 years, you change your status to a student, once you leave the country, you lose that student status, which means you're going to have to apply for a student visa using the same I-20 from the school for an actual visa stamp in your passport at a U.S. embassy overseas. Now, the problem is that recently in the past year, quite a few of these embassies are not very excited about applicants who are changing their status inside the United States. So if you decide to change your status in the United States, there's a big risk that the first time you leave the United States and go home to visit for the holidays and try to go back and apply for an actual visa on your passport, you may be denied just because you applied for a change of status inside the United States. It's happening a lot, we've seen that, and therefore I wanted to make this video so you're aware of that. So think very carefully before changing your status inside the United States. You have to have a good reason. Maybe you were visiting here and you couldn't go back home because of medical reasons, or there was an issue in your country, maybe there was some political problems, or whatever prevented you from going back, and you had the intention to go to school, and that's why you did it here. But unless you have a really good reason, it's going to be very difficult for you to apply for the actual visa stamp in your passport after changing your status inside the United States. So just a word of caution. But again, it's doable. It is a legal process. A lot of people are actually doing it. And you can actually start school inside the United States by changing your status and even finishing a full degree just with status. The status you have to extend it every 2 years. Now let's talk about a few common questions that we're getting. When should you apply for the application to change your status? You should apply for this before your B-1, B-2 status expires. It's really important to do it before, because if you do it after, you're going to be out of status. It's not going to work. If you haven't received a notification from immigration at least 2 weeks before your course is supposed to start, you need to contact your school DSO for further instructions. What do you do if your B-1, B-2 visa runs out before you receive the results of your F-1 change of status? If your B-1, B-2 status expires before, you can extend it by filing another extension of your B-1, B-2, and this way you will have some sort of pending status while your F-1 application is in process. Or alternatively, like I said, you can leave the country and apply for the F-1 visa at the US Embassy, but of course you're taking a risk over there. But it's an important consideration to think about. Once again, hopefully this information is helpful. If you have any questions, you need help with any immigration process, you know where to find me, 619-483-4549. I'm here to help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.